Hi, my name's Robert. I come to you as an automobile enthusiast that have maintained, serviced, and repaired my own vehicles in excess of 30 years. I've had a car that lasts over 400,000 miles. The current car that I'm driving has over 220,000 miles on it. It's a 95 model. So I hope you can benefit from the information I share. Thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and install a Volvo mid-90 car radio stereo. It includes your 850s, your 900 series cars, most of your 700 series cars built prior to 2001, your S and V40s built 2001 and older, and it'll show you how to take the radio out, put it back in, and deactivate the security feature. Removing the radio is a quick and easy process. The first thing you want to do is cover your shifter so you don't damage it. The radio may scrape across the top of it, and if you have a nice wood shifter or one that you don't want pitted up, you want to go ahead and cover that. Then, if you look on both sides of the radio, you'll see these little tabs. You push in the tabs, release the tab on one side, push in the tab, and release it on the other side. Then these tabs pull out, and they actually serve as little handles. So, you pull both of those tabs out. Then you grab it from both sides and pull the radio out. It's best if you pull it out from both sides. That way you don't break any of the tabs and it takes a lot of pressure off of it. So you pull the radio straight out, and now you can see the top of the radio. Now, when you're looking at the top of the radio, you can see that the radio has a model number that's right there. That's a form of some kind of model number, the 3533771-1. And the actual faceplate model number is the SC816 on this radio, which has a CD. Then the radio has a serial number there. In the event that you don't know where the code is and you have to call the dealer to get the code, the dealer will need all three of those numbers. So, once the radio's out, I'm going to pull it out a little bit more so I can see the back of it. This radio has the power and things main connector here. It has a little tab on it. You push that tab, squeeze it in, and unplug it. Might have to do that with two hands because it's pretty tight. Here it comes. Then down here, it has an antenna wire. You want to grab that tight, pull that antenna wire out. Some of your newer model cars have an antenna booster that's also plugged in there. Most cars have your speaker wire connections here, but this car has an amp, so this connector is actually plugged into the amp, and I have an amp connector here. So I would pull that tab and release it. So now the radio's out and ready to be worked on or replaced. Alright, to reinstall a radio or install another radio, it's real simple. First thing you want to do is plug in the antenna wire. So you find that wire, you plug it in. If the car has an antenna booster wire, you want to plug that in as well. Then you want to plug in your power and controls plug. Push it in until it clicks. Then, if you have no power amp, you're going to plug your other wire plug into there. And if you have a power amp, you're going to plug that in down here. You want to push it all the way in or put it in till it clicks. Alright, if you have a CD changer, you want to go ahead and plug the CD changer in. And as you can see, I have a towel protecting my shifter knob. Once you got those connectors connected, you want to pull back from there and line up the stereo. Make sure that your tabs are pulled out so that your radio goes all the way in. Slide the radio in all the way until it's flush with the dash. Then you push in these tabs until you hear them click. Now the radio's locked in place and ready to be activated so you can use it. Now you want to turn the radio on and unlock it. What you got to do is you got to turn the car on. You can turn it on to 1 position accessory, or you could turn it on to 2 position, or you could turn it on, start the car up. Then you turn the power on the radio, and as you can see, it's asking for the code. Now the code for these radios are normally initially put in the owner's manual pouch. There's a little card about the size of a credit card, and it has a radio code on it. I've seen them written on the top of the radio, written on the side of the radio. I've seen them inside the glove box. I've actually put mine inside the sun visor. If you open up the passenger side sun visor, look inside that flap, I have my radio code written there. So it's very accessible to me. Anyway, you have to enter this code to get the radio unlocked and usable. Now, all the radios have different codes, so you can't use your buddy's code. And they're 4-digit codes, and the numbers are between 1 and 6. So if you see a 4-digit code and it has a 0 in it or an 8 in it, it's not the radio code. The code is got 4 digits in it and these series of numbers. So when you're ready to unlock the radio, you enter the code. I entered the code. It said error. Some radios will actually say repeat, RPT, to let you know you entered the wrong code. So if you get that and it asks for the code again, that's the wrong code. Go find the right code, because you only get 3 shots. So I'm going to try again. It gave me an error again. Or, like I said, your radio might say repeat. That's the second time I entered the code and I entered it wrong. It's asking for the code again. So I'm going to try one more time. I entered the wrong code 3 times in a row. Now the radio is locked off. Now, this radio will remain locked in the security position for 2 full hours of being left on. Now, I had a 960 one time that it said off. I don't know if I entered it wrong or who did. Anyway, I didn't have time to look up the code, so I just drove the car around, talked on the phone, whatever. I don't always have the radio on. After the second day of driving, it said code again. Normally, what you have to do is you have to turn the car on and leave the radio on with off on the screen for 2 full hours. If you turn the car on and you have the radio powered off, it's not going to work. You got to have the radio powered on with off on the screen. Some of these radios, you have to have it on the number 2 position so that all your warning lights are on, and it has to sit like that for 2 hours. I don't know which ones are which. Maybe it has something to do with the model numbers, but anyway, those are the options. You can drive around for a couple of hours, 15 minutes here, 40 minutes there, an hour here, and you'll get code again. Or you can turn the key on, leave it on for 2 hours until that says code again. You're not going to get this radio to work until you wait that 2 hours out. So don't enter the wrong code over and over again. Okay, for if some reason you had the off symbol on the radio and you've waited your 2 hours and now the radio is back ready to enter the proper code, you'll see the word code. Now that you have the correct security code, you go ahead and enter it. Like I said, if you can't find evidence of the proper code, or if the radio's been replaced somewhere along the line, you can call the dealership, get the correct code from the dealer, and you'll need the information off the sticker on top of the radio to get that code. Once you have the right code and you have code lit on your stereo, you enter the right code, entered the wrong code one more time. Let me enter the right code. My thing is giving me the wrong numbers here. When I pushed 4, I got 3. Hold on a second. There it is. I hit the right one that time. As you can see, the radio came on and the radio works. So if you mess it up 3 times, it's going to go to off. If you hit the right one, it'll come on. That's basically it for getting your stereo reactivated after it's lost power or been disconnected from the power source. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them. If you feel that this information was beneficial, please like it and share it with your social media friends. Go ahead and subscribe to my page so you will get notification of future videos that I post. You can feel free to visit my website, robertspainter.com, post questions, and thanks again for watching.